Or things we only notice in our beliefs as an adult. The first thing I'm going to do is make sure that the volume is on, because last week I shot myself in the foot, metaphorically speaking. It is the certitude of faith that serves as its indictment. For rigidity is the stuff of which faith is made. But we have a choice. We can be rigid or we can be flexible. Rigidity sounds great, says my inner 12-year-old. Rigidity sounds fun and quick and easy. What could possibly be wrong with rigidity? Well, rigidity is the on-ramp to the freeway of being fearful, controlling, elitist, cryptic, competitive, and cruel. This has been observed by the author of the 81 chapters of the Tao Te Ching. But what alternative is there? Well, there's another road. It's not as well paved. And it's not as glamorous. It doesn't have billboards. It isn't lined with ornamental orange trees. It's simple and it's earthy. And in its own way, it's beautiful. It's the path of being not only flexible, but loving, laid back, egalitarian, lucid, cooperative, and kind. This morning, I had the very good fortune of watching a TED Talk by a contemporary anthropologist who asserted that, yes, we have more technological power than our Paleolithic ancestors, but we don't have greater lifespan. We don't have greater cooperation, and we sure as hell don't have greater happiness. Now, hey man, I love having a computer in my pocket. Hey, is that a computer in your pocket, or you just haven't seen me? I love having a computer that I can use to reach out to people and share my life's work with folks. It's awesome. It's fun. It's delight. But we have to be honest with ourselves as a species. In many respects, in the words of Bugs Bunny, we too have taken a wrong turn in Albuquerque. It takes an obscene amount of courage to say in the face of peril, I don't know. I don't know. But it's from I don't know that we take our first steps towards not superstition, but wisdom. Not cleverness, but wisdom. This morning we're going to do a little bit of chanting and a lot of sitting in a way that helps us to become more and more open to the centered spontaneity that is the key to a fulfilling life. Now, along these lines, a good-hearted fellow wrote me this morning. Okay, this one is kind of odd. If, as a recovering Catholic, and by the way, James, I love the way you write. If, as a recovering Catholic Buddhist practitioner, wait, you forgot to mention if you're left-handed or right-handed. Come on, man. If, as a recovering Catholic Buddhist practitioner who is left-handed and imparts this here on the right, you become more awake and you see a person being abused and it hurts you spiritually, and you have two options that you've used with success, the Machiavellian and the Buddhist. How can you help yourself align with your Buddha heart and deny your demon hand asking for the both of us? Asking for the both of us. Okay. Asking for a friend. James, you are a clever, clever fellow. Okay. So, as you've come accustomed, my answer I have prepared for you is really annoying, deeply unsatisfying. When we say there are two choices and only two choices, that is our rigidity at work. The fact that you are observant of others' stress means you are courageous. The fact you care about others' stress means you have a good heart. And it is very, very easy for us to forget to blend love with letting go, and to blend love with urgency and fear and rigidity. And I'm going to terribly, terribly paraphrase a conversation between Luke Skywalker and Yoda depicted in Empire Strikes Back. Is the dark side stronger? No. Seductive, quick, easy, fast to join you in a fight, but not stronger. No. In the novels and the comic books, we see the great Sith Lords as depicted as grotesqueries, each depicting in one way or another the corruption of the flesh. For although the dark side is powerful, it is expensive. And I've never seen a Sith Lord depicted as happy, peaceful, or fulfilled. The dark side is an 8-lane highway to nowhere. In as little as 3 minutes, we can meditate and plug into the great vulnerability that opens us up to the centered spontaneity, which is the key to genius. Over the past 10 years of my life, I have learned that when facing a humdinger of a question, do not puzzle it out. Do not work up a balance sheet of pros and cons. Put one's energy, even one's nervous energy, into the cultivation of the centered spontaneity, and let that centered spontaneity, that is the byproduct of a healthy practice of mindfulness and meditation, do the heavy lifting. It might not give you the answer you want at the moment you want, but it will give you the answer that will do the most good and the least harm. I do not say that it's out of blind faith. How darkly ironic would that be? I say this out of experience. I say this because out of a lifetime of binary thinking and knee-jerk reactions, I've seen where that leads me. It's that wonderful line, which again I'm going to paraphrase horribly. I am the wood chipper through which great lines in cinema are fed to produce a red mist of disappointment. You've been down that road, Neo. You know where it goes. And it's not fair. In song and stage and literature and cinema, we see the hero reacting rapidly, decisively, and passionately. But these pieces of media have not been crafted by sages, but by people, just authors, everyday folks like you and I, and modified by producers who just want to turn a tidy profit. We're not really concerned with the evolution of the species as much as the return on investment. So as beautiful and fun and compelling as cinema can be, it's probably not the zenith of insight all the time. To quote a Russian Jewish American meditation teacher, don't just do something, sit there. And that's what we're going to explore. And after about 30 seconds of housekeeping. Oh, look, there's more. Thank you, James. I look forward to chanting and meditating with you after approximately 30 seconds of housekeeping. This is Lama Jigme Gyatso of the Buddha Joy Meditation School. For more than 30 years, I've spent more than 8 hours a day, every day, studying, practicing, mastering, and reverse engineering the teachings and techniques of each sect of Buddhism so that you would not have to. Welcome to Meditate Like a Jedi, which is made possible due to the generosity of viewers just like you. So, what I'd like to do is practice easy Zen. That's not rigid Zen, not superstitious Zen, not Zen with mincing footsteps as if one has had an unfortunate incident and fell on a ruler and somehow it went up their tuchus. No. Easy Zen. Caveman Zen. Oh, yes, that's right. He said it, folks. It's time for the bit of the old caveman Zen. So, quick like a bunny. Because why not? So our first step on the railroad of Paleolithic Zen is going to be an excerpt from Yongjie Xuanjui's, which sounds like I'm speaking backwards, doesn't it? Song of Enlightenment. So quick like a bunny, I'm going to hit button 11. Oops, button 14. Together, let's chant. Do you not see idle followers of the way? Let's explore the great paradox that true followers of the way appear far less busy than their foolish counterparts. Let's continue. Not studying, not busy, not getting rid of delusions, not looking for the truth. Relying neither upon pseudo-intellectual skullduggery nor superstitious blind faith, neither shoving at delusion nor reaching for so-called truth. Together. The true nature of their ignorance is a Buddha nature. Their illusory empty bodies is the Dharma body. Noticing the turmoil of their minds, as well as the cravings and aversions of their bodies as they inhale, and then relaxing into their non-graspability as they exhale. Enlightenment is attained, spontaneous, carefree, and at ease. Mindfulness meditation are known by oh so many names, including Sati Pasati, Zen, Proto-Zen, Chandhyana, Mahamudra, Mahasati, Atiga, Dzogchen, Treksho, and a partridge in a pear tree. But really, it's just mindfulness and meditation. In the 81 chapters of the Tao Te Ching, we learn of the three treasures. From the perspective of Lao Tzu, those were simplicity, patience, and compassion. Centuries later, from the perspective of Ancestor Wu, they were Jing, Qi, or Shen, or form, breath, and mind. When we treat our breath like a metronome, that is Qi. When during our inhalation, we silently and mentally recite sitting tall, we are accessing both our mind, Shen, as well as our body, Jing. As silently and mentally we recite sitting tall, we are reminding our body to generate a vertical traction between our tuchus and our head. When we silently and mentally recite the word relaxing in harmony with our chi exhalation. We are blending Shen mind with Jing body. But wait, there's more. We are already wired to relax during each exhalation. We don't have to force it. All we have to do is surrender to it. So let's play with this for a few moments. Now, what I recommend doing, and you don't have to do it, but this is what I'm going to do, is I'm going to keep track of my rounds of breathing, my in-breath and my out-breath, by using Bengali crease counting. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to advance the tip of my left thumb during each inhalation. And if I was you, and clearly I'm not, I would count sets of 12. I'm counting sets of 16 because I breathe really quickly. So I would count sets of 12 by counting the 3 creases on each finger. 3 creases times 4 fingers gives us 12, if my second grade teacher was correct. But if we wanted to count to 16, that's fine. We just count the 3 creases plus a tip, and all of a sudden you're counting 4 rounds on 4 fingers for a total of 16. So as you may have guessed, not only are we counting repetitions on our left hand, but if you wanted to, you can count sets on your right hand. You can count 16 sets of 16 breaths and see how far that gets you. You don't have to, but it's fun. I enjoy it. It's amusing. There are photos of me as a toddler playing with my fingers, and I'm still doing it today. Let's meditate. Without any doctrine, without any faith, without any metaphysics, we can sit tall and relax in harmony with our breath. Welcome to the path of Paleolithic meditation. We don't have to force ourselves to notice our perceptions, emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. They are hardwired into us. They are inescapable. We can notice them vulnerably, passively, viscerally, randomly, non-conceptually as we breathe in. We can be like the piling on a pier. It's there, in low tide and high tide, in the presence of waves and in the troughs between waves. And that's how we sit, splashed by sights and then sounds and scents, flavors and sensations, splashed by emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. No piling lasts forever, no human lasts forever. Eventually we breathe no more, and we take the dirt nap. The question is not, do we die? The question is, do we truly live before we die? This could help. We're going to take this wool sweater of a practice and wash it in hot water. Shrink it on down to its one-syllable aspect. As we breathe in during our breath, Qi, we can mentally recite Shen, the physical instruction, Tall. During our exhalation, Qi, we can mentally recite Shen, the physical instruction, ease or relax. Ease is a synonym of relax. My first teacher, who has perished, and to whom I still hold great devotion, was a product of his lineage. Fundamentalist and contrived and oh so very yang. He taught me with great enthusiasm the path of contrivance. And although I love him very much, that path pales before the path of ease. Did you know you can cultivate the entirety of the Eightfold Path just by sitting? Having climbed to conventional cruising altitude together as a team, let us meditate as profoundly as Ahsoka Tano on Lothal. And do remember, the moment you have a specific question about Buddhist chanting, Buddhist meditation, Buddhist philosophy, or how to apply them, please type your question in great detail in the chat window, just like our pal James did. I will check for questions approximately once every 8 minutes or so. So I am a cripple with who is allergic to pain and most likely incarceration. But if I saw a man handling his partner, I would enthusiastically insinuate myself between the two. For acting, or at least I fancy myself, I would do this. In my mind's eye, I would do this. Positioning myself as her human shield and buying her time to run away before he dispenses with me and chases after her. And that is how I could non-violently buy someone time to run away. Now, do I want that to happen? Oh, hell no. I don't need any more injuries. I have enough. But there are non-violent solutions. A caveman might not have a sophisticated vocabulary, if any. Whoops. But a caveman, sorry, having some troubles here, could notice the coming and the going of the seasons, the waxing and the waning of the moon, the rising and the setting of the sun, the swelling and the sinking of the chest, the coming and going of perceptions, emotions, intentions, thoughts, memories, and imaginings. And so viscerally, he or she could grok change, and in time begin to viscerally experience that in the arena of change, grasping is just silly and pointless. For that which is grasped is temporary. The act of grasping is temporary, as is the one who grasps. Replacing active concentration for passive awareness, replacing active analysis with passive relaxation. Empathy becomes an inevitability. As love infects our experience of the interpersonal, we cannot help but communicate kindly. As kindness infects our body, we cannot help but conduct ourselves kindly. As love infects our experience of the circumstantial, we cannot help but practice kind commerce. No longer striving to defeat other businesses or get employees fired, we seek only to cooperate kindly. A fringe benefit of mindfulness and meditation is the effortless effort flow of having our choices, utterances, and deeds flow from love's centered spontaneity. Doing so is not an end run around intelligence. Au contraire, it unleashes intelligence. It removes the bridle, the bridle, and the reins of rigidity and fear and greed, and sets our wisdom free. The first of 7 enlightenment factors is mindfulness. Its price is vulnerability. As we breathe in, let us silently and mentally recite the verb tall. As we breathe out, let us silently and mentally recite the verb ease. The second of 7 enlightenment factors is often translated into English as investigation. I prefer to think of it as simply swapping out defensiveness for curiosity. For sometimes in meditation, what comes up are embarrassing choices and utterances and things we have done. The third enlightenment factor is energy. Sitting nice and tall can be energizing. When we feel fatigue, it's okay to rest. It's okay to adopt lifestyle choices that feed our vitality. Lifestyle choices like getting enough sleep, getting enough fresh air, sunshine, and exercise, drinking enough water, consuming all the fruits, vegetables, grains, seeds, nuts, and legumes your body desires. The fourth of 7 enlightenment factors is joy. No, that does not mean we have to force ourselves to feel things we do not feel. No, that doesn't mean we have to plaster a smile upon our lips, cheeks, or eyes. It means joy is a barometer. If our teacher's a cranky curmudgeon, shop for a better teacher. If the way we're doing this deal's making us cranky, then do it a different way. Life is short. Meditation is supposed to make it better. Not in the length of not during the length calculated by the lifespan of 3 universes. Not in 7 lifetimes, but as little as 7 months, or 7 fortnights, or 7 weeks, or even 7 days. The fifth of the 7 enlightenment factors is tranquility. And it is the effortless byproduct of exhaling. The sixth of 7 enlightenment factors is coalescence, and it is the effortless byproduct of inhalation. The seventh of 7 enlightenment factors is balance. Yes, during our inhalation, we could notice the duality of scarcity and plenty. However, during our exhalation, we could relax into the simplicity of the circumstantial. During our inhalation, we could dualistically notice both pleasure and pain. However, during our exhalation, we could relax into the simplicity of the physical. As we inhale, we could spontaneously notice the duality of praise and scorn. However, as we relax into our exhalation, we could viscerally experience the non-duality of communication. As we inhale, we could notice the duality of fame and obscurity. However, as we exhale, we could relax into the non-duality of awareness. From a certain point of view, the first of four noble truths is simply this: into each life, some rain must fall. Sometimes circumstantially, sometimes physically, sometimes interpersonally, sometimes mentally. From a certain point of view, the second noble truth is that the stressors we experience are exacerbated by reaching and shoving. By shoving at scarcity, pain, scorn, and anonymity, and by reaching, forever reaching for plenty, pleasure, love, and fame. The third noble truth is that we can transcend the tyranny of duality. The fourth noble truth is that the path to the liberation from the tyranny of duality is eightfold. Let us discuss the mechanics of sitting. In the most ancient of Buddhist statuary, we observe not the torturous twisting of limbs to resemble a pretzel, but simply stacking one shin upon the other. Just as we can twist the ulnus and the radius of our forearms, we can do likewise with the tibia and fibia of our lower legs, so that our insteps rest upon the ground, protecting the crowns of our ankles. Any student of ballet will tell you we turn out not from the knees, for they are mere hinge joints, but only from the hips, for they are ball joints. The secret to meditation is simple. As we breathe in, we can silently and mentally recite the verb tal. As we exhale, we can silently and mentally recite the verb ease. There's nothing contrived here. We are already wired to adjust our posture when we breathe in. We are already wired to relax as we breathe out. Let us seal this morning's practice by together as a team chanting the first verse of the Song of Enlightenment. Whoops, let's hit the right button in the right sequence. Life's always easier that way. Do you not see idle followers of the way? Not studying, not busy, not getting rid of delusions, not looking for the truth. The true nature of their ignorance is the Buddha nature. Their illusory empty bodies is the Dharma body. If you've just tuned in, let's go over that one more time. Do you not see idle followers of the way? let us explore the great paradox that true followers of the way appear far less busy than their foolish counterparts. Not studying, not busy, not getting rid of delusions, not looking for the truth. Relying neither upon pseudo-intellectual skullduggery nor the superstitions of blind faith. Neither shoving at delusion nor reaching for so-called truth. The true nature of their ignorance is the Buddha nature. Their illusory empty bodies is the Dharma body. Noticing the turmoil of their minds as well as the cravings and aversions of their bodies as they inhale, and relaxing to their non-graspability as they exhale. Enlightenment is attained, spontaneous, carefree, and at ease. If you feel that I have earned it, you could give this live stream a thumbs up. You could even help support this channel. In approximately 10 hours or so, I would very much like to return to lead today's evening meditation class and group practice. And if you are as geeky as me, may the Force be with you always.